On January 30th, constituents from the 22nd Council District gathered at PS 17 in Astoria, Queens, to hear the 2018 State of the District address given by their Council Member Costa Constantinides. Prior to the speech, there were greeting messages from the principal of the school, Rebecca Hayward, the Queens Council Delegation Chair, Karen Koslowitz, the public advocate, Letitia James, and from the new council speaker, Corey Johnson. All speakers spoke very highly of Council Member Constantinides and praised him for his exemplary, as they mentioned, character and hard work in the City Council. In welcoming and thanking the crowd for their attendance and support, Council Member Constantinides also thanked all speakers and pledged to continue working closely with them. Supported by a backdrop of slides, the councilman proudly outlined several of his 2017 accomplishments, which are part of the promises and priorities he had set forth since he was elected. As he reflected back to his 2013 campaign promises, he stressed that his office has already completed the bulk of his original plan for a cleaner, greener Western Queens. However, as he further noted, he's most proud that three big priorities of that campaign concerning Astoria have been substantially completed. They include the expansion of Mount Sinai Hospital, the removal of trailers from schools, and cleaning up the dirty power plants. In detailing the process which led to these accomplishments, Councilmember Constantinides also thanked his colleagues in government for working closely with him and for providing funding support for these projects, among them the Council's Queens delegation and the Queensborough President, Melinda Katz. Councilmember Constantinides also outlined a series of different initiatives his office was able to secure funds for in this year's budget, which invest in education, in new and innovative equipment for schools, and to his Science 2050 initiative, which was introduced last year. He also outlined his new promises and commitments for his district, which include a cleaner and greener environment, improving government services and preserving the idea of better government, and providing more affordable housing for seniors. He announced that his plan is to build at least 500 new units in Western Queens by the end of his term. Constantinides also pledged to continue his fight against asthma, and as far as capital projects are concerned, he committed to restore the Astoria pool. As far as his environmental agenda, moving forward, it has several major components. The first aims to cut emissions in city buildings, taking into account that large buildings in New York City are responsible for the largest percentage of greenhouse emissions. He will introduce a bill to reduce emissions from these buildings. The second component encourages wind power generation, and thus he will introduce a wind bill directing the city to survey the areas in New York City that have the best potential for wind power generation. As part of his idea for better government, Councilmember Constantinides announced his support of Tax Equity New York's lawsuit to require equity in property taxes across the city. Costa, congratulations.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you so much.
Now, it's very difficult to find politicians who keep their promises, but you're among those who kept his promises, not only kept his promises, but your colleagues in the City Council and throughout Queens also praise you for being somebody who works hard for your constituents and also keep your promises. How does it feel?
It's very humbling to have the support of this community, to have the support of my colleagues. It was so great to have our public advocate here tonight, Letitia James, our Queens Delegation Chair, Karen Koslowitz, our new speaker, who's going to be great for Astoria and Western Queens, Corey Johnson, who's a great friend, So especially the Greek community. So we're going to work and really get some really special things done the next 4 years.
Now, let's just recap of your new promises.
Yes.
Starting in 2018, I will talk about the promises kept in 2017 and before, but looking ahead, you've made some major promises again tonight.
We're going to take on some big things. On the environment, we're going to continue to lead, make New York City a leader. We're going to get emissions reductions from our largest buildings, 25,000 square feet and above, that are going to be the largest single policy of emissions reductions in city history, more than 10%. We're going to build a wind power paradigm so we can have small wind power in New York. We're going to combat asthma and ensure that our children and our future generations are not plagued in the same way that right now 80,000 kids in New York City have asthma and 4,000 are hospitalized. And then we're going to take on some bigger challenges in our own neighborhood beyond just the environment. We're going to build 500, at least 500 units of new senior affordable housing, working with great groups like Catholic Charities and HANIC and other nonprofits to make sure our seniors can afford to stay here in Astoria. And we're going to tackle the pool. And the pool is the largest capital allocation I've ever gone after, but we need it. The bathrooms, the locker rooms, getting the basin and the deck done. We owe it to the next generation of our community to ensure that that pool can stay the great place that it already is.
Well, as you have stated this evening, the budget cuts coming from the White House are hurting New York. Actually, they're punishing New Yorkers. And the city of New York is suing. Tell me, are we going to win that lawsuit?
We're fighting. I mean, New York State is suing on the state and local deductions. But here in the city, we want to make taxation more fair. We're currently suing the city to ensure that our taxes are calculated the right way.
Yes.
Right now, it's calculated in this archaic way where certain hot neighborhoods in Manhattan or Brooklyn are paying less taxes than our own neighborhood. Astorians want to do our fair share, and we're willing to pay our fair share of our taxes, but we want to make sure that property taxes are easy to pay and that they're fairly being allocated. So we're going to fight on behalf of our homeowners here in Queens to make sure that this doesn't continue.
Now, we were promised that the water bill is going to go down, but we're noticing that it's going up. Why?
It shouldn't be. I mean, the water bills were frozen, on the past year. There was going to be a rebate given to 1, 2, 3 family homeowners.
When is that rebate going to kick in?
We just won the lawsuit.
Okay.
So we just won the lawsuit, I think, last month.
Okay.
So that check should be in the mail soon, we hope.
Oh, okay.
So we should look out for it. I really want to thank the mayor for his partnership, because for a long time, the
hidden tax.
The hidden tax on our water and sewer ratepayers was unfairly burdening our homeowners. It was going to things that had no relation to our water system. So now we've gotten rid of the rental payment and that hidden tax, and it's going to be no more, and we're going to not have that moving forward.
And finally, one of your most favorite topics, the environment. Here in Astoria, many homeowners, including myself, are getting this special deal where you can install now solar panels.
Yeah.
Finally, I'm installing mine.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
Solar One and other providers are helping make it more affordable and more easy to understand. And we're trying to cut red tape.
Yes.
And City Hall. And but that combination on making it affordable, making it easy to understand, cutting the red tape, making it simple to install, I think encourages people to do it. And
of course, it took less than a week for the city to approve it. I mean, it's moving along, and they're installing them actually this week.
That is so amazing, Elena. That's what we're working towards, to make sure that folks can make those type of green choices on their values, not based on cost, not based on, is this too hard? If it's simple, you'll make those choices. And I'm so glad that you did.
Yes. And I urge many other viewers of AKTINA to do the same, because it's a very easy process.
And it's going to help make our neighborhood better. Yes. It's going to make your electricity bills cheaper in the long run. And it's going to improve our air quality so that all of us have a better community to live in.
Thank you so much for the great work you're doing, for all your support towards AKTINA FM and AKTINA TV, and we look forward to working with you very closely in the next 4 years.
As am I, Elena. Thank you so much for being a great voice in our Greek American community. We need you, we love you, and thank you.